Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for all the people that's already in the building. I see next section is in the building. Shabbat Shalom, Aki. Good to see you here. Not sure who else is in the building. I don't have my thing pulled up where I can see all that just of yet. One day we'll get there. But right now, just thank everybody for being here. Welcome to another episode of our Torah Vitamin special edition of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob, where we focus directly on the Torah. So I thank you for everyone for making this Torah Vitamin successful. It's picking up a lot of people, and I really appreciate that, because our whole thing is building communities, and we want to build everything up. So some of you might be saying, well, who are you, guy? What's going on? Well, let me introduce myself to you. I'm Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham, Rabbi of Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. And on this show, we deal with, amen, hallelujah. And on this show, we deal with Torah issues. And normally that's what we do throughout the week. We deal with Torah issues whenever an episode or something pops out. And you can go and look at the old episodes. But on Shabbat, we focus only on the Torah portion. It's straight teaching on the Shabbat. We just get right into it and just begin to do our teachings on the Shabbat. So again, I appreciate everyone being in the building. All praises to the Most High. Exactly, brother. Next session, you know what I mean? Is appreciate you, Brother Morris, for all that you are doing and all the things that you do in the community. Appreciate all of that, Aki. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to get into this today. I don't want to keep you guys long. Y'all know this is going to be between a half hour to 40 minutes, if that long. I'm trying to keep it to a half hour. Sometimes we go over a few minutes. But we're going to knock it out because it's the Shabbat. And I know most of y'all like me are getting ready for the Shabbat. Y'all getting ready to go to your congregation to study and to learn. And if you don't have a congregation to study and learn from, I will ask you to please join us at Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation, 3602 Gwen Oak in Baltimore. And you can also look us up online under sabbathkeepers.org. You can pull up our website and it can give you more information about us. So by all means, we got Sabbath school that's going to begin at 10:30. And we got our general regular service at 1 o'clock. We got Bible study, got daily prayers. We got a lot of stuff going on, doing a lot of things for the community. So if you need a home, or if you need just to find out more information, I implore you to try out the Bible study. Bible study on Wednesday, 7:30. I personally teach that, and I invite all kinds of questions, and we can get into all kinds of discussions, right? And it won't be like this. It'll be sort of like this because it's online, but it'll be mutual. You'll be able to talk to me. You won't have to type nothing, and we can have a real conversation. All right, but with that being said and done, let's get into the vitamin for the day. Now, I got a few things with this vitamin for the day. First thing, y'all might have noticed the thumbnail picture and the picture that y'all seen, and y'all might have been like, who are these people right here, right? Who are these people that I'm looking at right here, right? Well, the young boy or the young man that you're looking at right there, the young man right there. Hey, thank you, Aki. Thank you, Aki. Thank you for putting that up there for them. Like, yeah, you can click on that joint and at any time, and it'll give you more information about us. All right, the young man right there in the picture, his name is Tafari Makanin, right? Tafari Makanin is actually, or Tafari Ben Makanin. Let me put it that way, right? He is Hebrew. He is Israel. He is Beta Yisrael. He's from the house of Yisrael, right? And he's also the late emperor of the 19th century. Now, that might be boggling some of your minds. What do you mean, the late emperor of the 19th century? Yes, he was the emperor that ruled in Ethiopia in the 19th century, actually went up and fought against some of the powerhouses from the European nations that we hear about whenever we study European history. And this guy went up against them as a grown man. But guess what? You don't hear much about him. You hear much about him from different circles here and there. But for most of y'all, this is y'all first time even knowing that it was a Hebrew Israelite, a Beta Yisrael, that ruled in Africa, in Ethiopia. Now, when I say this other part, it might get close to you. Now, his father's name was Rosh Ya'acob Walde Mikael. That's his father's name. You notice that Mikael at the end is a Hebrew name. They were Hebrews. Black people. Now, some of y'all that's been with me for a while, y'all already know. But for some of y'all, this is like, boom, this is like History 101. Y'all like, oh my goodness, what's happening right now? I want to bring this out because what we're going to talk about in this portion is dealing with sort of like this, right? Dealing with sort of what we're seeing in this picture. In this picture, we're seeing a passing down of the torch. The emperor at the time, which was Rosh Ya'acob Walde Mikael, and Rosh is the Ethiopian way of saying Rosh, right? He was Hebrew. Rosh means head or leader. He was the emperors. So Tafari, when he became known, Tafari bin Makanen, or Tafari son of Makanen, right? He became known as Rosh Tafari. So you should be clicking right now. That's right. Those brothers you see with the dreads that's running around, Bob Marley and all those other guys were followers of Rastafari. That's why they call themselves Rastafarians. Try and teach something right now. Something that you guys probably never heard. Some of y'all already know. Some of this is just me refreshing your memory. But this is an important person right here because this young man was the 225th descendant of King Solomon. The 225th descendant. Let's let that sink in. 225th descendant is this young man sitting right here on this picture. Now, during that time in the 19th century, what was one of the main things that was going on? Slavery. Right? And not slavery. I know some of y'all like, man, slavery was over. Racism, civil rights movements, all these kind of things was going on that time. Black people really going through suffering and all this kind of stuff. And guess who most black people was looking for? They was looking towards this white hippie looking dude as the Messiah. And the white hippie looking dude that they was looking at as the Messiah, little did they know is actually a painting of this guy called Cesare Borgia, which was a Roman Pope that eventually and was the son of the Pope and of Rome, right? His name was Cesare Borgia. And he had murals painted where he had himself painted that looked like the Mashiach. He had his sister painted that looked like, I believe, Mary, the mother of the Mashiach. He had all these different things going on. And at this time, that's all the black people knew from Christendom was this white guy was the savior. And then news broke of the war happening. And they flashed to this emperor in Ethiopia. They say he the 225th descendant from the line of Judah, reigning on the throne. And when he got crowned the king, and they said he was the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because that's what they crown you when they make you the king. And the people in West Indies see that as an epiphany. And they said, wow, he's black like us. And he comes directly from the tribe of Judah. And not only that, he's from David. So he's the son of David. He's the son of Shlomo. And he's on the king reigning. He's on the throne reigning. And they understand that that being a Mashiach means that you're anointed to be king. That's what it means, people. I know y'all think it means savior, somebody coming to save you from your sins. That's not what Mashiach means. Mashiach means that you're anointed to be the king. And they see this young man, when he grew into manhood, anointed to be the king, and they run down all his lineage. And then you find out that he not only was him, but he had a whole group of the 10 tribes of Israel segmented right there with his great grandfather, all the way back, named Menelik, who was the son of Shlomo, right? The Shlomo himself sent down people from each group of the tribes so he could rule over the tribes of Israel. Shlomo did that. So this young man this is a powerful picture, right? Because we're seeing a passing down of the torch. We're seeing a passing down of, we're seeing legacy. As we see when we see this picture, it's showing legacy, showing a passing down of the torch. And that's what this week's Torah portion is about. See how I tied all that in? That's why I got this picture up here. Because this is what this week Torah portion embodies. Yeah, the young man Joseph, whom his father loved, that was separated from him. And they are now reunited. And in their reunion, we see Yaakov, Yisrael, begin to pass down the torch to his children and saying, this is what's going to happen in the end. This is the blessing I'm putting upon you. And he begins to pass this down to his children. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very powerful picture. And I'm glad you let me able to take out this time within this to break this down to you, because I really wanted y'all to understand what y'all was looking at when y'all seen this. Is also one of the main icons that I use for my channel, which is this young man as a grown man with the crown on his head, showing him in his rulership. Because this is when the tides begin to turn. This is when black people start saying, wait a minute, Israelites was black? Wait a minute, I thought, wait a minute, what's going on? They in Ethiopia. What's happening right now? This blew everyone's mind. And it's still something of contention where people get upset about it, but you can't deny it. There's even pictures of the different royals from over Europe on their knees bowing down before this man, kissing the ring. I might show y'all that next time. But I just wanted to touch up on this just so y'all know who this is and what's happening in this picture. All right, so we're going to get into our portion for the day is Vayechi, right? Vayechi is our portion for the day. And you might be like, okay, what does Vayechi means, right? Vayechi Ya'acob ba'aretz Misraim. And he lived, Ya'acob, in Aretz Yisraim, in the land of Egypt, Shava Ashra, right? And that is 17 years. Shana is years. 17 years. Vayehi, Vayeme Ya'acob, Shane, Kayu, Sheva Shanim, وأربعين أمة shana. And the days of Yaakov, the years of his life was 7 years and 140. So 147 years he lived. Why is it breaking us down? Because in this part right here, Yaakov is about the past. Yaakov is about the past, and what's happening is they want us, we're about to see this change happen, where he's going to begin to bless his grandchildren and his sons. He's passing down the torch. He's going back over his life and showing his children, this is what I'm giving to you. It's the legacy, it's the lineage, right? Now, it says right here, Yisrael's days drew near to death, right? So his days drew near to where he's about to pass. So he called his son Joseph and said to him, pray, if I found favor in your eyes. Pray, put your hand under my thigh and deal with me in loyalty and faithfulness. Pray, do not bury me in Egypt. Now, as it's saying, pray, this pray is really, they translate as pray, but this pray is dealing with him basically begging or asking Joseph to do him this solid and bury him with his fathers. Now, you might say, why we know that's what it's saying? Look right here. So let's go down. I'm too far up. Let me see something. 29. Right here, verse 29. And when the time drew near that Yisrael must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, now have I found favor in your eyes, please, right? That's what I was telling you. The word that they translate as pray is actually please. Please, right? So he's begging his son for mercy. Please put your hand under my thigh and deal with me truly. Please do not bury me in Egypt. Right? So he's pleaded with him for several reasons. Number one, he doesn't want to be buried there because he wants to be buried with his fathers, with his people. Remember, Abraham bought the cave of Machpelah. He buried Sarah there. Yaakov and Esau buried Yitzhak there. So he wants to be buried there as well. Don't bury me in this land with these people. I want to be buried there. Right now, the reason why he made him swear an oath was because he knew that Pharaoh would have felt disrespected. What do you mean you want to be buried way back in this plan? We was the ones that was good to you. We was the ones that allowed you to flourish. We was the one that did all these things for you. But you telling me you want to be buried back there? What are you talking about right now? So he decides, you know what? I got to get him to vow. Because if he don't vow that he's going to do this, then Pharaoh will feel disrespected and he probably won't do this, because even though Joseph has all this power, he understands that it's second to Pharaoh. He don't got the power over Pharaoh. He got the power, but it's second to Pharaoh. So he can't just do whatever he wants to do. He has to clear it with the big man, right? With his big homie. He got to check in with the big homie. He can't just do what he want to do. He got to check in. Now, also something else peculiar is happening within this text, right? I want to show y'all something else is happening within this text. Within this text, we see that he's going to now tell Joseph that his 2 sons is going to belong to him. Now you might be like, well, okay, what's the whole point of that? We know they belong to his grandchildren. He don't mean belong to him like that. When he says they're gonna belong to him, he means that they're going to be his seed. They're going to be part of his tribes, his people. He now elevates them. Look what he says. Let's go this right here. Yaakov said to Joseph, El Shaddai, right? Well, you're married Yaakov, El Yosef, El Shaddai, right? So he says that to Joseph, El Shaddai was seen by me in Luz, in the land of Canaan, and he blessed me. Should be a capital H. And he said to me, here, I will make you bear fruit, and will make you many. It will make you into a host of peoples. I will give this land to your seed after you as a holding for the ages, right? So now look what he gets out of it. So he says, this is what happened. Now look at what he gets out of all of this that takes place. Watch what he says he gets out of this. It says, so now your 2 sons who were born to you in the land of Mitzrayim. So your 2 sons who was born to you in the land of Mitzrayim, before I came to you in Mitzrayim, they are mine. They are mine. In other words, when he says they are mine is as if he's adopting them. He's saying they are now my kids. I'm adopting them. They are now mine. Just like Reuben and Shimon. So just like Reuben and Shimon, right? Why would he just say these random names? I'm going to let y'all find that out later as y'all get into your portion. Or as y'all study. As hopefully y'all study the Torah portion on Shabbat. If you go to it and look at it later, you'll see that Reuben and Shimon are going to get reprimanded. And the blessings that Yaakov is giving, Reuben and Shimon going to get reprimanded, right? He's going to be like, look, these guys right here, yeah, we got to watch out for these guys right here. Reuben and Shimon are going to get reprimanded. So you're going to see why he says like Reuben and Shimon. What you mean like Reuben and Shimon? What does that mean, right? Says, but your children whom you beget after them. So any children you have after them are yours. They're going to get accounted to you. Right? So if you have other kids later, they'll be your kids. But these 2 kids right now, they belong to me. They part of me. This changed the dynamic of everything. Because now we went from 12 to 14. What's the significance in that? Is there any significance in that? We even see at a point where the Levites are going to be taken out eventually. That's when we get the Shemot. The Levites are going to be taken out of the equation eventually. That's why he says, Oh, man, let me not. I'm about to give it away. At any rate, this is a powerful thing because later on, we're going to see that he's going to give the blessings to the brethren. He's going to let the brethren know these are the things y'all fell short in. These are the things y'all was good at. He's going to let them know that. And as he lets them know these are the things y'all fell short in, these are the things y'all good at, right? As he lets them know that, some people going to get shifted, right? Some people going to get left out because of what they did. But it's all with him talking about his legacy and how he's passing things down to his children. It's about family. We even going to see later on, it's going to be a part where after he passes, and after they mourn for him for 77 days, 70 days in Mizraim, 7 days when he went back into the land. After Ya'acob, after Yisrael's passing, right? The brothers are going to be feeling weird because they're going to remember what they did to their brother. And in their minds, he just was doing this because he was letting everything go because of Dad's still here. But what happens when Dad ain't here, right? What happens when Dad ain't here? When Dad ain't here, what's going to happen? He's doing this now because Dad's here. What y'all think going to happen? I'm just going to leave that up in the air. All right, it is now getting close to the time for me to end all of this. I just want to drop one more jewel on you, one more jewel out of this vitamin note. And it was something that was said, I'm going to go to here, right? And this is 48. His last words. All right, this is the burials. I want y'all to see this. No, not this right here. So there was something I want y'all to see. I want y'all to notice this. See if y'all notice this. All right, so look at what happens. Says so. Let's look at verse 7. So this is Bereshit or Genesis chapter 50, verse 7. So Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh's and the elders of his house and the elders of the land of Egypt. So you got all these elders going up with them, right? As well as all the house of Joseph, his brothers, his father's houses, only the little ones, their flocks and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with both chariots and horsemen. And it was a very great gathering. Then they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and they buried there. And they mourned there with great and solemn lamentation. And this was for 7 days. So they already did 70 days in Egypt. Now this is 7 days, right? Now watch this. I wanted to see if y'all noticed this, right? Verse 11. And the inhabitants of the land of the Canaanites saw the morning at the threshing floor of Atad, and they said, this is a great morning for the Egyptians. They said, this is a great morning for the Egyptians. Weren't there Hebrews there too? Weren't there Israelites there? But when they saw them, they didn't distinguish between the groups. All they saw were Egyptians. All the Canaanites saw. They said, it's a great morning for the Egyptians. They didn't see Hebrews. They didn't see Israelites. They didn't see the Egyptians and foreigners from our area, because remember, they just came from Canaan. They seen Egyptians. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because if y'all don't know, in the Torah scroll, this part of the portion, this portion is closed. What do I mean by it's closed? Normally in the Torah scrolls, it'd be a separation of at least 9 spaces between the portions so you can tell one portion from the other. But in the Torah scroll, when you get to Vayechi, there's no separation. There's no separation. So the sages teach that the reason why there's no separation is because that was showing us how intimate, and how flawless how people was assimilated and how flawless was the exile that we had entered into. Like that, like a flash, like a blink of the eye, you was in exile. Right after they got in the land, Vayegish is when they came to the land. Vayegish, they came to the land. Vayechi, Ya'acob, or Yisrael passes. And guess what happens? Immediately after that, we go to Shemot, which is where we're going to start next week. And it talks about the exile. Immediately after that. But what the sages teach is it starts before it gets to Shemot. It starts right here. That's why there's no separation. It's seamlessly going through. There's no separation. It's seamlessly going through. Right? So that's the whole thing with that. So hopefully I gave y'all some things to think about. I appreciate y'all for being here with me today. And before we go, I just want us to hear our artist of the week.
I rock with apostles' doctrine. Apocrypha on top got me topping over my opposites. Enemies can't stop me, they topple over the obstacles. Couldn't see with binoculars. Most of these bad words obstinate. Y'all discard them, they obsolete. They insubordinate. They wanna walk the path, but don't wanna follow the coordinates. The Abba gave us statutes, laws, commands, and ordinance. He even gave his son. We matched the love with impertinence. Falling into the curse again, like our forefathers. Ain't nothing new under the sun till the son was sent by the Father. A higher, a sure, a higher. He set up my soul on fire. He breathed will walk in my lungs. Yahweh keeps me inspired. I'm Judah till I expire. Team one for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? When them lions step on the scene, see them queens dance they king. See 144 screen. Team one for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy?
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Oh my goodness. I love that joint, Royal Judah. That was one of the first songs. I believe that was the first song that actually had for the Artist of the Week during season 1 a couple of years ago. That was like one of the first songs that I did Artist of the Week for. I reached out to the brother because I was new to this, and I was like, let me reach out to the brother. I don't know how he might feel. Is he like, who's this guy? And I talked to him. He was very humble. He was happy. He thanked me so much for doing this. And then it made me feel like, you know what? I want to extend this, because it just was a one-time thing I was doing. I said, you know what? I'm going to extend this. Every week have an Artist of the Week, right? And then I said, okay. But I talked to the brother, and real strong brother. And I said, you know what? I want to be able to help other people out. There is people out here that got music, that's doing stuff. So then I start trying to encourage people, hey, y'all know some music? Y'all, there's some music that inspires you. It's from an unknown brother or sister that nobody knows about. Let me know. And I'll check it out. And I will put it up here. Brother next session can tell you he let me know about a brother's, showed it to me. I was like, oh, I like this. Moray Catriel, who's missing today, he let me know about a couple of people, and I was like, wow, I like them. I put them in there. So I definitely, if it ain't somebody I find, somebody y'all find, we can go with that. But as I said, we coming to a close. I appreciate you all for being here with me with this Torah vitamin. Again, next week we're going to be dealing with Shemot, which is a book of Exodus, and we're going to jump into that. And I will talk to you then. So enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. And I thank you guys for taking time out to spend this Shabbat with me, or this part of your Shabbat with me. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Shabbat Shalom. Shema.